y'all, and welcome back to my kitchen garden. Well, today I have done one of the craziest things that I have ever done for gardening. I asked AI to design one of my garden beds for me. So it is going to be an interesting experiment to see how this turns out. But I have all of these beautiful plants and I can't wait to get them in the ground. So let's see what AI says we should do next. So this is one of our new 3x6 raised beds here in our kitchen garden. And these were all of the plants that AI said that I should get. So we're going to go through all of these plants together and we'll get these laid out and we'll see if AI knows what it's talking about. So it's going to be a really cool experiment to try. So first it said we're going to need 3 tomatoes, and I went ahead and chose a determinate tomato, so it'll be based on the size, so it won't get too big. It said to plant those on the north side, which will be the back side, so it doesn't shade, because if we planted it right here on the front, it would shade the other vegetables. So we got a Ace 55 tomato, and then I also picked up another tomato, and let's see. It is also another determinate tomato in its aroma. So I'm just going to use 2 from that one and then 1 from there. So that's our 3 tomatoes. Then it said to choose 2 squash. So I got a straight neck squash. And then, let's see, that's for another bed. And this one is another yellow straight neck squash. And then it said to choose a zucchini. So we just got a regular zucchini here. And then it says basil. So I grew this basil from seed. And then it says a pepper. And I chose a purple beauty pepper here. And then it said to get seeds. And I already had all of these old seeds here. So I've got carrots and a slow bolting lettuce that can handle a little bit more heat. I got the Grand Rapids kind. And I've got all these different carrot seeds here. So let's get these all laid out and see how it goes. Okay, so for our tomatoes, it said on AI that basil is a good companion plant with tomato because it helps to ward off certain bugs because of the smell of the basil. So we're going to add our tomatoes across the back. So we're doing 3 of them. So we're just going to kind of place them back here. We'll do the Roma in the middle, and then we'll do 1 of the Ace 55 on each side. So we'll kind of space them out accordingly against the back side here. And then we're going to put a basil in between each one. This is brand new potting soil for raised beds. I use the Daddy Pete's, and I really like the consistency of it. I'm going to go ahead and add some of the Biotone starter fertilizer so to get these plants off to a good start. These little Ace 55s, they're so small. They had actually larger tomatoes there, but they were so big and so overgrown, so floppy. I thought I would just start off with a nice little one. I'm going to do it right over here near this bolt so that can kind of give me a little guide for the other one. And we're going to plant the tomatoes rather deep because tomatoes can grow on their stems. So we're going to put that in nice and deep here. And then we'll go ahead and get our basil. I'll have to separate these. They have grown so good from seed. So hopefully me separating them doesn't make them angry. We'll go ahead and put a basil here. And we'll put 1 right here. I'm going to put this little Roma right here in the middle. Nice and deep. Put our little tag back in there. Oop. Add our basil. And then we have one more tomato to do, and we'll do it right here. So when you're picking out tomatoes, if you look for one that is determinate, it means it has a determined size. So it's going to be a little less vigorous and big than the other ones. Okay, so we got all of our tomatoes put in. I was just over there looking and I forgot I have some more basil. Those other ones I had potted up, but these were still in the original little Vigo seed starting tray. So I'm going to add this one to the very end. So that's good. We have just enough. So I have all of these carrot seeds and a lot of them are kind of getting old. So I need to go ahead and use them up. I've got a petite sweet, these long ones here, a tender sweet, and a Danvers 126. So like I said, a lot of these are old. So I want to go ahead and get these used up. So it said to put them in the middle. And so we're just going to kind of go around and do a couple little rows of these. And we'll see how they do. Let me go ahead and just put the biotone all through here so we don't have to keep going in phases. Y'all, I have not had a veggie garden since 2020. Can you believe it? That's why some of these seeds are so old. But we've got a lot of our old seeds used up when we were doing our little herb growing. So that was kind of fun. We'll put our long ones in the middle. And then maybe we'll put some of our petite ones over here. And then tender sweet and the Danvers. And I still have this one of the half long. And this is the seed tape. So I feel like we need to use this too because this is old. All this stuff is so old, guys. So with the seed tape, it has the seeds already inside of it. And these are actually pretty good because it keeps them moist until they germinate. I've always liked using the seed tape. So let's add a row of the seed tape, like right in here. And the nice thing about the seed tape is you usually don't have to thin them. So let's go to here. That off. And then maybe we'll add another row, maybe right here in the middle. That'll be good. Just to get these used up. Better used up than just thrown away. So this one looks like it grows to be about 8 inches. This is the Danvers. Wow, and there's a ton of seeds in here. So let's go through and maybe we'll do here. We'll just kind of space them out. So I don't have as many of the lettuces. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of scatter these through here amongst our carrots. See, this one doesn't really have anything at all in it. Let's see if this one has a little bit more. Yeah, this one's got a little bit more. I don't know how we're going to do on the the lettuce, guys, because I don't really have a lot of seeds. But that's okay. So it said to put your squash on the side so it can kind of spill over. This is the yellow straight neck. There's actually 2 in here. So let me see if I can separate them. Okay. This is definitely the bigger of the one. Got lots of flowers on it already. They're like so pretty. Whoop. So we've got our 2 squash in. So let's go ahead and add our pepper right here in the middle. And then we'll add our 2 zucchini. So the guy at the garden center, he was so nice and gave me all these plants for $9. He was like, that'll be $9 even. I was like, really? He's like, no tax. So that's the nice thing about shopping your little local places when you get to know people. This one is kind of getting a little straggly. I almost forgot. The last thing it said was to plant a marigold. So I just dug up a marigold that had grown from seed. But this smell is supposed to like deter pests and stuff from getting on your plants. So, kind of big. So I might just want to go ahead and plant it over here. Hopefully that'll be enough smell. I don't know. I must need like 2 of them. Let's take a look here and see how everything is going to look. So we started off with our basil and then our little tomatoes, a basil, aroma tomato, another basil, and a tomato and a basil. So that's going to be our backside. That's going to be a little bit taller, so it will not shade our other veggies. Then we have our 2 squash, we have our marigold, our 2 squash, and our other 2 squash. So these are going to kind of spill over the side here. And then in the middle, we have our carrots and a little tiny bit of lettuce. I don't think the lettuce is going to amount to anything because I really didn't have a lot of seeds to be able to finish that up. So this is what it looks like. I think it's going to do really, really good. So the only problem that I've ever had with growing veggies is I usually get squash bugs. So hopefully we can keep on top of that and we won't get any squash bugs. We just have to keep an eye on it every single day. That is just one of those things. And then also sometimes you'll get those big fat green caterpillars on your tomatoes, and those are not good either. One of the things we also have a lot of here is a lot of rain. So we do have to watch them for root rot, which, sometimes you just can't help that. But hopefully our AI garden bed is going to do really good. So I'll definitely keep you updated on the progress of it and see how it turns out. Guys, with all this new technology, might as well put it to the test and see what it does. But I hope it gave you some inspiration if you were looking at growing a little veggie garden. It's not too late, guys. You can still put those veggie gardens in and you will have a beautiful crop come this late summer, early fall. So I hope you have a great day, and I hope you have a chance to get in your gardens today. Thanks for gardening with me. Bye, friends.